Today on Fish It First, we've got another ice fishing unboxing and review to do. That's coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back to Fish It First, the channel where you can trust the product reviews because we aren't sponsored by the manufacturers. Now last week we did an in-depth review of the Mystery Tackle Box Ice Fishing Box. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check that one out before this one. This week, we're moving on to another box. This one is from All Seasons. This is the All Seasons Mystery Ice Fishing Box. We're gonna open this up. We're gonna see what's inside. We're gonna go over to the tank, drop them in there and check out the actions of these different lures and see whether or not I think this is a good deal. Let's get started. Okay guys, so full disclosure, this All Seasons box was sent to us from the All Seasons company. It's a $25 box if you buy this retail. We are not sponsored at all by All Seasons. They know that we're going to be giving this an unbiased review today, but let's go ahead and get started here. When comparing this to like the Mystery Tackle Box, for example, is you don't see a lot of fancy packaging. That does not bother me at all. I'm more interested in what is inside. Okay, so let's pull out the first one here. This is the Lunker Hunt Spud. Now, Lunker Hunt is known primarily for their bass fishing baits, and this one of course can be used for that purpose. For ice fishing purposes, really large spoons, daredevils, those kind of things tend to not have a lot of purpose for me. These bigger lures just tend to really be tough to catch any fish with when you've got these cold waters and the fish are less active. But, you know, chance that you can maybe catch a decent sized pike with this, not sure. But we'll go ahead and take a look at this one in the tank, and then over the next couple of weeks be fishing with this one and see if we can pick anything up. It's got a decent treble hook on it there with, looks like a little feathered treble hook on there. Colors are good for this lake though. You know, it's got a definite perch coloration to it, so that's good. That's the first one, the Lunker Hunt Spud. Moving on, any of you guys who have done ice fishing over the years have probably at some point used a Johnson spoon. This is the Johnson Splinter. It's a lot like the Castmaster. It's got a very similar shape to it. The color here, it says that this one's a UV glow, but the color here of this cream color and green, I like those colors on this lake. This is an 1/8 ounce spoon. In terms of the treble hooks, I have not fished a Johnson spoon in, gosh, quite a long time, so I can't speak to these treble hooks. I usually switch out my treble hooks on my spoons anyway, and I probably will on this one. I usually put on a Gamakatsu or a Berkley Fusion treble hook on there, but these spoons are great. You know, you can catch them in open water season. You can catch them ice fishing. It's a small enough, compact enough spoon where this would still be effective for your walleye, your sauger, your perch. I like this one. I like that this was included. I think that this is a useful lure. Next on the list, we've got the Sitka Yukon Shiners, and these are essentially Sitka's version of the Rapala Jigging Rap or the Clam Tikka Minnow, right? So these are going to be the dipping and diving type baits that are looking like basically trying to emulate that bait fish that is broken away from the school, or one that's on the bottom and dying and having trouble getting back up in the water column, depending on how you fish it. In terms of colors here, you've got your reds, your greens, your yellows. Those are all good colors to have here on Lake of the Woods. These have plastic fins attached to what is probably a lead body. I really have had trouble with those with the jigging wraps. They tend to break off after only a few fish catches, but we'll see how these do. Again, when it comes to hooks on these, I don't know where their hooks are coming from or who makes them. Let's just look through this real quick. Great for all species, very jigging motion, tip with live bait. Yeah, you don't have to do that, but if you want to take like the head of a shiner and put that on your treble hook, sometimes that can help for a little bit of scent. But yeah, we'll give these a look underneath the tank, but they're probably going to do what you'd expect from a jigging wrap type presentation. And looks like these are glow as well. Looks like these charge, so pretty cool. And there's 2 of them in there. That's kind of nice. And next on the list, Fat Boy Jigs. I'm not super familiar with Fat Boy Jigs. I think they are a company out of either Wisconsin or Michigan. But anyway, facebook.com / Fat Boy Jigs. We'll probably have to give that a look later and take a look at them. But a few jigs in here, and I don't know if these are tungsten or lead. Based on the weight, they feel like they're lead, but I don't know for sure. Okay, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you this. Pink and white jigs are going to work very well on most lakes in Minnesota, certainly on Lake of the Woods where we do most of our fishing. These do a great job. You've got different shape jigs here, right? So more of a teardrop here, and this one is more of your perch pattern, right, or your fire tiger type pattern. And then here you have a metallic sparkle, silver and orange. All these colors are pretty good. Pretty light wire hook there. Same story on these. So we'll see if these hooks hold up. I think that these jigs could be very useful out on the lake. I do worry a little bit though about those hooks. They are pretty light wire, but we'll see. I like those three. Okay, next up, Sub-Zero Ice Fishing Premium Hard Water Gear. Essentially, these are just micro jigs here. All right, the Sub-Zero jigs. Sub-Zero is not a company that I am familiar with at all, but you've got different micro jig presentations there. These would be good for like your crappie, your panfish. Probably are not going to want to be targeting walleye or sauger with these with such small hooks on there, but a bunch of different options there. Pretty cool. We'll go ahead and see what those look like in the tank later on. Okay, so next up, if you have ever gone ice fishing, you have probably either thrown one of these or you have seen it in a buddy's tackle box. The Swedish Pimple, probably one of the most popular, most well-known ice fishing baits of all time. These are really great. Depending on what colors you get, they can be really great. We've got one that we've been using recently with like sort of a pinkish, opalish hue to it, and that one has been really successful. This one here has got like a flashy metallic green color. Greens, especially metallic greens, tend to work really well in lakes like Lake of the Woods where you have perch as a primary forage species. So, and the backside of this is gold. Greens and golds, pinks and golds, those really tend to work well. So this is great to have this included in this kit. That's a good one right there. Next up, we got another bait from Johnson, the snare spoon. Now, I've never used a snare spoon, and this snare spoon has actually hooked itself in the packaging there. I got it down there for you. But essentially, you've just got this little circle hook or octopus hook hanging down from a chain, and I haven't used these before, and I get a little bit nervous when I see that about that hook getting caught on your line or getting caught on itself, but I don't know. Maybe they work well. It'll be interesting to see in the tank how well it works. In terms of color, you've got that fire tiger look on there, that perch coloration on there. That's a great choice. 1/16 ounce, small size, compact, more likely to get bites even when those fish are feeling sluggish, even in that midday sort of slump where they're not biting as aggressively as they are in that morning and evening bite. So this will be interesting to see in the tank, but another good lure from a good manufacturer. Next up here, the Nils USA UV Glow handmade tungsten jig, and this thing is cool. They should call this thing the Dalmatian. We got a white tungsten jig here with some black spots, a little bit of red on the bottom, a couple little eyes on it. Little panfish jig, tungsten, which is fun. I really like those tungsten jigs. You get a lot more weight in a smaller profile. You can get that thing back so much faster right down into the strike zone. Really like that. Obviously, the type of fish that we're targeting here, we're not going to be using a jig like this because that hook is just way too small. But looks like they've got a little crystal on top there. I don't know the value of the crystals. I haven't necessarily found them to add any benefit for me, but some guys really like them. So the Nils USA tungsten jig, cool little addition for you guys out there who are going to be doing some pan fishing along with your walleye and sauger fishing. Next on the list, this one is called the Crazy Legs. I've seen these before in stores, never used them. Guys, if you don't use a lot of soft plastics with your ice fishing, you know, really take the time to go out there and work at it, because when you start catching fish on soft plastics, there's something rewarding about that, about tricking a fish into eating something, biting something that isn't real. So there's your little jig trailer there, just a main body, 3 little legs, and we'll have to figure out what we're going to throw that on. I don't know if we got anything here so far that we've seen that might be, we'll see. We'll try some different things out, but these are interesting. You know, black, when you're thinking about colors, black can be a good color in your more murky waters and at night. So darker stained lakes, Lake of the Woods is a great example, but darker stained lakes and darker at night. So those are pretty cool. And then last in here, let's see, there's a couple other things. I'm guessing these are stickers. Oh yeah, Eagle One Bait Company. Few stickers here. I'm guessing these are all the same. Yep. Some Eagle One Bait Company stickers. And these are, they look like little soft plastic, almost like tadpoles or nematodes here. Let's take a look. And I'm guessing that these glow or charge. Let's pause for a second and I'm gonna go see if I can get this to glow. Alright guys, I just went and tested it out, and you're gonna have to take my word for it, but they do charge and they do glow, but it is very, very subtle, but they look good. In terms, whenever you're evaluating soft plastic baits that are small like this, the thing that you want to be looking at is the type of plastic that they're using. How stiff is it or how soft is it? The smaller the profile gets, the softer that plastic has to be in order to be able to get some good action out of it. These are very soft, definitely an appropriate softness to the plastic for the size of that bait. Let's take these, let's tie them on and get over to the tank. Well guys, having done the Karl's Bait and Tackle Company Mystery Tackle Box review last week, I have something to compare this All Seasons box to, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this guy. Now, if you buy this retail, it's $25. Adding up the cost of all these comes to around $35. Now, sort of like the blade bait in last week's review, the Spud, to me, for the type of fishing that we do, and most of you are probably doing ice fishing, this one I think is going to be a lot less practical. Now, we'll still go out and fish it. We'll try it out, but I don't think we're going to have as much success on that one. And the other one here that I'm going to put off to the side would be this Sitka version of the jigging Rap, just because that action, just continuing to go in a circle, is not helpful. That's not what we're looking for there. So even if we take those out of the picture, you're still getting a pretty good value here. The Swedish Pimple has caught so many walleye and sauger for us over the years. The Johnson spoon and the snare spoon are great. Northland makes incredible tackle. Their soft plastics are no exception. These little Impulse Crazy Legs, I'm going to definitely be using these. These are pretty fun. Having some micro jigs here, the Fat Boy jigs. I'm excited to try these out again. Those thin wire hooks we'll see how those hold up, catching those bigger keeper walleyes and those slot fish walleyes. But overall, if I had to make a decision between the Karl's Bait and Tackle mystery tackle box ice fishing, and we reviewed the non-pro edition, so but comparing that one to the all seasons box, I would have to direct you, if I had to direct you in the direction of one or the other, I would have to direct you toward the all seasons box. Now, again, what kind of person do I think these mystery boxes are for? I think it's for somebody, you know, if you're new to ice fishing and you don't really know where to start and you just want to get some stuff and try it out, I think that this is a good direction for you to go. And if you're somebody who is just stuck in a rut where you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and you're adventurous and you just want to try some new stuff, I think that you're going to be in a good position if you go with the all seasons box. You're going to get a lot of cool stuff that most of it anyway is going to be very practical and useful for you. You know, if you're somebody like me who knows exactly what you want and how you want to fish it, these mystery boxes are probably not for you. Your money's probably going to be better spent going to that tackle shop and buying exactly what you know you want anyway. Well, with that said, guys, that is it today for our review of the All Seasons Mystery Ice Fishing Box. Make sure to go down at the bottom of the video, hit the little like button and the subscribe button next to it, and that little bell notification. That bell notification makes sure that you get all the latest videos from Fish It First. Stay tuned for our quick tip video this Friday, and every Wednesday we're going to be hitting you with a new review of products and gear. We're going to get these out on the ice at some point and get you some footage of that as well. If you have ever used one of these mystery boxes before and you liked your experience, maybe you didn't like your experience, let me know down in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, tight lines.